You wouldn't believe that shipping inventory from this distance costs just as much and actually more as shipping inventory from this distance. Hey, this is Rochelle and welcome to Multiple Passive Streams of Income. I have to capitalize on Q4 because I sell gift items on Amazon. I sell in the US, Canada, and the UK. Now this year, I made sure to have stock of the better selling colors of these gift items, which I store in a spare bedroom in my home to try to not run out of stock during this critical time frame of Q4. Now, it's definitely an extra cost due to the additional postage to mail inventory from my home to Amazon, but definitely worth it for many reasons. First, when I'm running PPC, it allows me to hopefully not lose ranking, which happens when you run out of stock. Also, I hope to not lose any sales from not having a color desired by a customer at the time of a potential sale. And Q4 is the most optimal time for sales, so that's the time that you should never be out of stock. So 2 years ago was my first Q4. And when I say it was amazing, I mean record-breaking numbers for sure. I hope to have similar numbers this Q4 because I added 3 new items to my catalog that target different audiences. But this year's Q4 was not as good as 2 years ago. And I'll make a future video about this topic when I do my 2021 year in review. For those who may not sell on Amazon yet, when you have a Seller Central account and you mail items to US Amazon warehouses, the postage is relatively cheap as you're getting Amazon's preferred rates. So when certain colors started to run low in Canada, I started to research how I could mail inventory from my house in New York to Canada warehouses. And man, I was blown away by the postage prices. It is so ridiculously high. And then when I think of how much I paid to ship these same items from China to those same Canadian Amazon warehouses, I mean, it just makes me so pissed off. I mean, shipping 4 boxes of inventory, each box contains 10 pieces, so 40 items, cost me this week like $214.09, plus I have to pay duties and taxes, which will be calculated by customs and charged to me later, but I believe it's going to be about $40. So let's say $254 to mail 40 units to Canada. That means I'm paying about $6.35 postage for each unit, whereas when I ship these same items from China to that same warehouse, it cost me $877 to ship 200 units. So that cost me $4.39 per unit. So you see why I'm so pissed off? Why would it cost so much for me to mail the same items from New York to Canada and cheaper to mail those same items from China to Canada? I mean, mentally, I just feel like I'm getting pickpocketed somehow. I mean, the cost almost made me not want to do it, but even though my profit margin was definitely diminished, I felt it was more important to not run out of stock at this very optimal time. So the first shipment to Canada, I created my shipping plans in Seller Central. I took about 20 boxes to a UPS store. I'm thinking they're going to scan the Amazon label on each box, slap some postage on it, and I'm out the door. I was totally wrong. The employee was like, if we do this for you, it's going to cost you 5 times more for them to do it. And then he said, you have to start a UPS account and you can do it yourself. But just remember, If anything gets rejected by customs, there's no guarantees. This is, do it yourself, and the UPS store is not guaranteeing anything. So at this point, my back is against the wall. I got 20 boxes, and the boxes aren't small. My roommate drove her SUV and I drove my SUV to the UPS store to get the 20 boxes there. So I'm not repacking the vehicles and heading back home. So I asked him, can I use their computer, to set up this account, and could he kind of step me through the process? So of course, now the store gets crowded, so he cannot give me like direct attention. So I log into ups.com, create an account, and I started to fill out an online shipping form. And there's many things that are like very obscure, and there's some choices that weren't available that should be. I mean, I think I was in that UPS store for about 2 hours trying to get this postage accomplished. The UPS store employee between customers is trying to help me, but he didn't know a lot either. So I'm actually still amazed that that shipment got past Canadian customs and actually arrived at the Canadian Amazon warehouses that I mailed them to. Now, since then, I've done a few shipments from home, and this process is still convoluted. I mean, I've spoken to quite a few people because I've received calls for the first few shipments that I did from home, and they were, I don't know, just asking me for payment information, and I had given a credit card payment method, the first time. No one was giving me clear instructions, or they couldn't tell me where to find clear instructions. So I'm going to go into some detail on what I've learned so far to hopefully help those who may need to ship inventory from the US to Canada. Now, when the UPS employee told me I had to open a UPS account, I thought that meant to go to ups.com and, basically register. Nope. You actually have to open up a UPS account. So you have to contact UPS directly and just ask a representative that you need to talk to someone that specializes in Amazon shipping to Canada. They have a special department for this. And there's some extra paperwork that they're going to send to you. They're going to fill out the paperwork because there's a lot of information on it there that I would have not known how to answer. And then they're going to ask you to sign it and return it back to them. And then you also have to give them a method of payment. Now, although I gave them a method of payment, they called me at least 3 times on subsequent shipments to give payment information, which was very annoying. So the process entails creating an NRI, that is a non-resident importer. You got to get a number for that. You also have to get a Revenue Canada business number. And then obviously when you create this account with UPS, you're going to have your own account number for UPS. Now, once you open up this UPS account, you will have this number and it'll be recognized inside of your account. So when you are filling out shipping applications online, your account number is going to automatically be pre-populated in the areas that it needs to be. Let's just first talk about how to do a shipping plan for Canada Amazon first. So this is going to ensure you can ship the amount of items you want to, because Amazon has crazy strict inventory limits now. So you want to create that shipping plan first. So to do this, you're going to go to your Seller Central account. You're going to go to Inventory. You're going to go to Manage Inventory. Then you're going to click the items you want to send to Amazon. And at the top, you're going to see drop down field that says Action on Selected, and it's going to have a number there depending on how many check boxes you checked off. And then you're going to click the drop down, and then you're going to click Send Replenish Inventory. Then you're going to click Yes, Continue. Now, if you have shipping templates already created, you can just enter the number of boxes you're mailing of each item. If you don't have shipping templates already created, the packing details will show as individual units and the boxes field will be disabled. To create a template, you're going to click the packing details drop down and then click create a new case pack template. You'll name the template, enter the units per box, the box dimensions and weight, and you have to answer who needs to label the units. Now, I chose by seller because I had the Chinese manufacturer place the item label, which Amazon provides to you. I had them stick the product labels on the inventory they sent from China to me. So they already have the labels on it and they're already packed into the box that I'm going to be sending to Amazon Canada. Okay. So after that, you'll just want to click Save. Now, if you see this prep and labeling details needed warning, click it to add the details. In this case, I chose no prep needed and click Save. The shipping template you just created will now be available on the packing details drop down of that item. Once you select it, the boxes field will be enabled so that you can enter the number of boxes you're sending to Amazon. And then after you enter the information, click Ready to Send for each of the items that you plan to send. If you need to print the product labels, there's a link to be able to do that. Now, my products, again, were already labeled, so I then just clicked Confirm and Continue. Now, make sure the ship from info is correct. Even though I'm dropping the boxes off at UPS, I'm still using my home address as the ship from address. I'm going to enter the ship date. Amazon will tell you what warehouses to send what to. You're going to indicate what carrier you're using. I'm using UPS, which isn't a partnered carrier for Canada. It is for the US, but not for Canada. Since we will be sending our inventory utilizing UPS and we'll have to purchase postage directly with them, the charges show as 0. So click Accept the charges and Confirm Shipping. Now, at this point, you can rename the shipment name. I usually rename my shipments with the destination city, so Scarborough, for example, and abbreviations for the content. So let's just say I'm selling teapots. It would be Scarborough 10B, 10R, 30Y teapots. And what that stands for is the colors. So it's 10 blue, 10 red, 30 yellow teapots that are going to Scarborough, Ontario. And this just allows me to see quickly the destination and the contents easily. So when I get emails from Amazon about receiving, checking in, and completing the intake of the inventory, I can immediately identify what's in that shipment. Also, you will be printing the Amazon labels for your boxes that you're mailing from this page. Okay, so don't be confused with the product labels that you stick on the actual product packaging. This is different. These labels are the labels you're going to put on the boxes that you are mailing to Amazon Canada warehouse. Now, after you finish your printing, you want to click Proceed, and then now you're going to have the page that will allow you to enter the tracking details. Now, at this point, you've completed the shipping plan for Amazon, and we're going to return back to this page later to enter the tracking numbers from UPS once we complete their shipping application. If you don't go back to the page and enter the tracking numbers, it's not going to affect your shipment. It'll still reach Amazon. But if you do go back and put the tracking numbers in, this is going to allow Amazon to track the shipment, and it may avoid some delays on their end when they receive the shipment. Now, I noticed one of my shipping templates has inches info, and it should have been centimeters for Canada. So be careful to use the correct format depending on the country that you're sending your inventory to. Now, let's look at the UPS process. UPS has multiple online shipping templates. So if your screen doesn't look like the one that you see right now on the screen, you can change the template by going to the Create a Shipment page and clicking the circle with a question mark in it icon, which is a little hard to see because it's small. But when you find it, click it, and then you'll have a link that says go to previous version to get to the version that I'm using in this tutorial. So click Ship if your UPS.com screen looks like this. You are going to enter Amazon's address in Canada. I put my telephone number on their address details because obviously there is no direct number to anybody at Amazon. And you can save the address by naming the entry. So I use the 4-digit Amazon abbreviations or initials, and that's what I use to name the address. You have to enter the customs value in USD. So for instance, my products cost $5 each and there's 10 in a box. So the value is $50. You also want to add the goods description. So for example, teapots. Then you want to enter how many boxes. If the boxes are all the same dimensions and weight, then just choose yes to use the same values, and then choose the package type. I chose other packaging because I'm using the boxes that were packed in China, and then I also enter the weight and dimensions of one box. Next, there's a question about whether your product contains batteries or not. And then you want to choose UPS standard for the cheapest rate. I checked send email notifications to be alerted when the boxes reach certain points of delivery, and check use the same reference numbers for all packages. If you are properly set up with UPS, your account number will have a saved payment method already pre-populated. Now, I had to use the UPS account number option for payment method, and for the duties and taxes, I tried to choose the saved credit card as the payment method, but it didn't work for some reason. So I chose the UPS account number for both of these drop-down menus, and that allowed me to proceed. So just click Next. Enter your email for delivery notifications, then Next. And then you're going to see a summary of your online application for you to review. Among the info will be the postage total. And if everything looks good, click Next. Now, we need to set up the commercial invoice of this shipment because this is an international shipment. So you're going to check the commercial invoice box, then click Next. Then you're going to click Add Product, then Next. Click the drop-down list to choose the product type and enter a product name or number and a product description. Enter the number of units, the price per unit, the unit of measure, and if your product comes from China, choose China mainland. If you don't know the tariff code, you can leave it blank. Then you just click Submit. Repeat this add product process if you have more than one type of product, and then click Next. Enter your tax ID number, your EIN number, and enter a name for the form that you just created, and then click Next. Click Print All Online Forms, the link right there, to print out the commercial invoice. It's going to be 3 pages, and you only have to attach it to 1 box in each shipment. So in this example, I'm mailing 4 boxes to Scarborough and 4 boxes to Naven. So I will attach the commercial invoice of each shipment to one of the 4 boxes being shipped to each location. I chose Ship Now with completed export documents, and then I click Next. Then click Ship Now. You will get a confirmation screen. Select the labels you want to print. So I checked all 4 label boxes and I clicked Print. And this is going to give me the postage labels to attach to the boxes. Now those labels will have the UPS tracking numbers on them. So go back to Seller Central, then Inventory, then Manage FBA Inventory. This is going to give you a list of all your shipments. Click the Provide Missing Tracking IDs link and enter the UPS tracking numbers into the tracking number fields. Now be mindful to be organized and make sure you're attaching the Amazon box label that corresponds with the UPS tracking number that you're entering into Seller Central. You will also have to attach that commercial invoice to one of the boxes. Now, UPS can give you the invoice pouches, but if you think this is something you will do regularly, you might want to just get some and have them on hand so all your packaging and labeling is completed from your home and you don't have to do anything when you get to UPS. Now, remember, you only have to print 1 commercial invoice for each shipment and attach it to only 1 box in that shipment. Now, here's the invoice pouches I ordered. They're 6x9, they're clear, and I got 100 pack of them. And the invoice will, again, be 3 sheets of paper. You just fold the papers in half vertically and place the 3 pages with the top of the first page face up so customs can see the info through the invoice pouch. As of yesterday, my last shipment cleared customs and was delivered to Amazon. So I think my NRI and my Revenue Canada business number are now all registered correctly. And I must have figured out the process now because no one called me to ask for a payment and no boxes seem to be getting returned back to me, which happened with 4 boxes from a previous shipment when I first started doing this. So even with this explanation, the process is still not as clear as it should be. But getting that NRI and that Canada business number set up properly utilizing UPS and then not struggling to get through the online shipment form, this should put you in a very good position to have little to no issues if you decide to ship inventory from the US to a Canadian Amazon warehouse. If you find this content helpful, please like the video. Please subscribe, comment, and please click the notification bell after you subscribe so you're notified when I drop new videos. As always, thanks for your time, as I know you could be any other place right now. Take care.